Hey Crystal School families, my name is Jessica and I want to share with all of you some tips on how to teach and assist your unique learner, like YOUnique. Okay, my background is in special education, specifically teaching kids that have autism at the elementary level and below. Okay, so developmentally, I'm going to hit on some things that may be appropriate and may really help you guys get to the next step and honor your child and your little loved one so that they can grow and they can feel good about it and all the stuff that goes with it. So today, the thing that I want to talk about is behavior and the 4 functions of behavior, okay? First things first, behavior is communication, okay? And communication can look a lot of different ways, but everybody behaves in a way that often offers a communicative response. And so sometimes kids that are unique learners don't communicate the way the typical child does. They don't communicate with words, they communicate with behaviors. Or they have limited vocabulary and communication skills. So that's something that I will be focusing on with the Crystal Schools so that your learner, your child, your little loved one can really learn how to get their needs and wants met, which will automatically decrease undesirable behaviors, okay? So when talking about undesirable behaviors or negative behaviors, and I choose to find a better word, aligned with my higher 5D self, so you have the negative behaviors and then you have the positive behaviors. And the positive behaviors are the desired behaviors. The things that you want to reinforce them and honor them so that they will continue to happen. And a lot of times that is honored and reinforced by giving reinforcers. So what are reinforcers? Reinforcers are that child's specific thing that makes them be in joy, okay? Now, your list might not be the same as everybody else's list, okay? So I highly encourage you to get a piece of paper and pen, and as I'm talking, think about what some of the reinforcers may be. The reinforcers are the things that your child enjoys, okay? They might enjoy peekaboo, okay? They may enjoy bubbles, tickles, clapping, chasing, jumping up and down, really, really tight squeeze, okay, playing with their hair, singing a song. It might be something, and those are all things that are attention and physical. Okay, so you're giving them attention while you're doing that, and it's physical. It could also be things like objects or toys or a little snack, okay? Maybe a little sweet treat. It could also be an access to a time like their favorite activity to do. And right now we know that a lot of little people are really into, the truth is that they're into using technology, okay, to feed their brain and put them on this program, okay, so we know that. However, yes, do we want to get away from that? And yes, some things are better than other, and that's for you to decide and us to learn together on, okay? However, it could be time on their device. It could be time for them to be left alone. All these things could be total positive reinforcers for your child, okay? Other things could be going for a walk outside. They could be, jumping up and down on a trampoline. They can be really, really quick. Sometimes they could take a few minutes, but they're things that you're able to do when you see them doing what that you want them to do. Then you can honor that by doing something or allowing them to have access to something or by giving them the love and attention that they specifically want, okay? Now, I say that everybody's list is different because sometimes kids don't like to be tickled and sometimes they don't like to be chased after. And so really make the list of reinforcing items for your child, your little loved one that they love, okay? Because that will also help you build into a choice board, okay? Or a reinforcement board. And why is that important? Because that's a good communication tool that the child can use to share with you what they love and what they choose and what they're communicating with you that they want to do. And that will be another separate video. However, I want to tell you that this is a really, really, really important thing, okay? And if you're already working so hard with your kiddo, you know. You got to work with what works for them. Okay, so the 4 functions of behaviors are, number 1, attention, okay? Attention is giving feedback and responding through eye contact, through facial expressions, through verbal expression, in a good or a bad way. Attention is attention. It doesn't have to be, oh, hey, I like what you did. It could also be, do not do that. You attend it. So if you attend to something that you don't want to continue happening, guess what? You just gave them attention for something that you didn't want them doing, but if they're doing it in order to gain access to your attention, you just reinforce the behavior to continue happening. Now, I know that might get like a little bit further ahead. However, I'll explain to I'll reference that example in a moment, okay? So attention. Again, a lot of those reinforcers that I gave you, those are things that kids do automatically, and oftentimes they really like that attention. And sometimes, you know, like if a kid's doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing it, like they're sneaking to go get a cookie and you attend to them, and then they think that's hilarious that you're like, hey, what are you doing? And then they think that that's a little game. That attention, even though you don't want them to do it, is going to reinforce that behavior of them sneaking to continue to happen because they like the attention you gave them. Perfect example. Okay, a second thing is to gain access to something, okay? So yes, gaining access to your attention is one of them, but gaining access to an object or to obtain access to a favorite thing, okay? So it could be their favorite toy, it could be their favorite snack, it could be that cookie that they want, right? So the reason they act a certain way is to get what they want. The reason that they act a certain way, okay, if they're not using those communication skills that everybody knows, you know, like the universal communication skills that if you walk into a restaurant, that kid can get their needs met. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, because these are the things that oftentimes these kiddos are not yet developed on. Okay, they haven't gotten there. Parents and kids work so hard, and families and loved ones work so hard to get their kids there. So that's what I want to help you guys do. All right, so gaining access to something, all right, that could be, again, a toy, an activity, a time alone, a TV show. It could be them running outside because they like to sit in the sun, or during a rainstorm if they love to touch the rain, okay? So they act a certain way to gain access to an item, an object, a person, a place, or a thing, okay? Another one is avoidance or escape, okay? Looks a little bit like ignoring sometimes, okay? So let's say you say, hey, Johnny, okay, and Johnny's name always gets used in teachers' ways, I suppose, like, hey, Johnny, it's time to use the bathroom, and they run away. That's escape or avoidance, okay? Hey, Johnny, it's time to use the bathroom, and they start humming, they just ignored you. They're escaping your demand, okay? So the behavior you see, them humming, them running away, that's escape one, that's the avoidance one, okay? Because why? Because number one, they maybe don't know how to transition from what they're doing very quickly to what you're requesting of them. Number two, there's already some frustrated learning behaviors that they've learned that are all tangled up in there that we're going to separate, okay? Or they need some processing time, okay? Kids that are unique learners often need at least 5 seconds, okay? This is what 5 seconds looks like if you haven't ever practiced waiting for 5 seconds. Hey, are you thirsty? That's an awkward 5-second pause. Now, sometimes kids could need at least 15 seconds to process, okay? Now, I know we're all ascending and we're all getting these upgrades, or at least the children are, okay? So for us adults that are shifting and ascending, the 5 seconds is an odd 5 seconds to wait for, okay? But you can do it, okay? You just have to be mindful and heartful of that and honor that. They need that time before they click, oh, she wanted me to go to the bathroom, okay? Or she wanted me to respond to her, okay? And then the other one, the fourth one, is sensory and automatic, okay? Sensory and automatic, the behavioral function that will look like it's functioning because of their automatic or sensory system is they're hungry, they're tired, they have a stomach ache, they have to use the bathroom. So them screaming and tantering and rolled up in a ball could mean they have gas, okay? And so when you look at them and they're like, why are they having a tantrum? Well, because they can't tell you their belly hurts, okay? And if behavior is communication, then the communication, skill that you need to work on that is how you're feeling. Is there something wrong, okay? What do you need? And so those are the things that are gonna make the difference, the positive difference for your kiddos. All right, I'm gonna look at my notes real quick. And I know I'm a fast talker, but you can watch this over and over. And again, I'll have more videos to extend this. But I want everybody to really feel into the sensory system overload. When you see a child, okay, it's your child, not your child, it's a neighbor's child, I want you guys to feel into your body feeling everything, okay? Your ears hearing everything, full blast. Your eyes seeing every ray, full on. And you trying to process it and everything gets mixed up, okay? Because oftentimes that's how I have felt, that my students have felt, that these kids that I love and adore get in the middle of that, right? And they don't know how to calm their body down. They don't know how to find the balance in that and re-collaborate within themselves, re-heart, re-attend to what the outside stimuli is that they should be attending to, okay? And sometimes, let's say you had a group of kids and they were all wanting to play on the playground, and your child really loved to play on that playground too, but a friend was on their favorite swing and kids were running around and it was a really, really windy day and there's a lot of chaos going on and a lot of rules that are social rules within a game that the child doesn't even understand. And you're like, hey, go do this, go swing, go swing, go swing. Hey, don't you want to swing? They're like constantly trying to process, and then you see your child rocking or swaying or escaping because it's too much. And so that behavior is something to honor as well. And so we will be talking about sensory systems and how to get the kids wherever they need to be able to then increase their skill set. Okay? I hope this is helpful for you guys. Love you all. Take care.